Katie Poland. Hey Chris, I understand that this is an old video, number 3, regarding being responsible for your actions, but I have a question in regards to what you said about the Nuremberg trials. I have read several accounts where soldiers or other people were forced to carry out horrible things by the Nazis, threatening their families. For example, if you did not join the Hitler Youth as a kid, in some places the Nazis would threaten to send your family to concentration camps. While I agree with you that we are all responsible for our actions, do you think some leeway or understanding should be taken into consideration that they were being threatened and couldn't think of anything else to do? I ask this because I remember several years ago when Pope Benedict XVI was being called the Nazi Pope because he was in the Hitler Youth, but at the time it was required. I want to clarify that I am completely against the Nazis, but I pride myself on getting both sides of the story and having some degree of empathy. I know, being the person I am, if my family was being threatened, I'm not sure I would be able to say no to someone while they have a gun to my family's head, so to speak. Yeah, of course. This is, when you're faced with a Sophie's choice, or in other words, an impossible situation where you lose on no matter what you do, then you are going to make decisions that are going to hopefully, help keep your loved ones alive. And I think just about anybody, I haven't looked into studies on this, but the little bit of exposure I have had to sociology and psychology would tend to, would have me tending to think that given the choice between killing a stranger that they've never met before and somebody in their family, that most people would opt to kill the stranger, right? I mean, you don't know who this guy is. He could be a serial killer. You can dream up all kinds of rationalizations and justifications for it, whereas your family, you love these people, your friends, again, you're more closely connected to them. So that's how that's used as leverage. And of course that needs to be factored into how much responsibility somebody needs to take for their actions, because context matters in all situations. There are no absolutes when it comes to morality, when it comes to judging the rightness or wrongness of an action. It always depends on context. And if you don't believe that, look at, murder. If you kill your spouse, or you kill somebody you don't even know, but if you just walk out one fine day from your apartment or house and take a butcher knife to, a few people, that's murder. They're going to lock you away for that. If you go to another country with an army uniform on and follow orders to kill people, and whether they're shooting at you or not, that's not murder, right? That's war, or that's, military conflict, and you get a pass for that. Same action, different context. So things, these kind of contexts matter quite a bit. Now, I'm not saying that it's good or that you get a pass for, the Nazis, for having carried out the atrocities they carried out, because the other judgment factor here is the concept of greater good and how many people is this going to affect, right? And this is where it really becomes a tough choice for people. You have and philosophy classes debate this kind of thing. I'm not going to presume to have all the right answers on this. I'm just going to tell you what I think, which is, if somebody were threatening my family or my friends, if I didn't do something, odds are I'd probably do whatever I could to do what it was that they wanted me to do, rather than face the horror of no longer having, them being killed because of me or my unwillingness to do something. But if I was called upon to push a button and nuke a city versus, my mother being killed, that's a really sucky situation to be in. It's also kind of an impossible situation if you really think about it. It's really a debate class kind of philosophical question, or an ethics class or something. But my answer in that situation is, I'm not pressing that button and wiping out a city because of one person's life, no matter who it is. Me, my family, my friends. There is no one life that totals a city worth of people, right? It just that equation doesn't work. So, so there's that part of the equation too, right? They're threatening your family, but you have to be the guy who's going to conduct the trains to the concentration camps and be responsible for, mass murder of thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of people. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, I'm not doing it, and if that means you're going to kill me or kill my family, well, I'm sorry, but I can't, be responsible for killing tens of thousands of people. So, but is that going to factor into the whole, equation? Yeah, of course it is. But I think that the concept of acting for the greater good also has to factor into that equation too. And that's my, from my limited ability in debate class and with ethics and morality and philosophy, that's my answer off the top of my head.